Hey, what's up, amigos? I'm in Mexico City, in Parque Amsterdam, Parque Mexico, in La Condesa. Just getting my afternoon walk on. Gotta do my walk every day. But yeah, we came down to the city this weekend to get married, and unfortunately had some issues with our lawyer, who kind of sucks. But yeah, I'm here. I'm at the park, just kind of like walking around, checking it out. I used to live here like, I used to live here like 5 years ago, and this is probably like one of my favorite places in Mexico. One of the most beautiful places in Mexico City. But you got this walkway, and then you've got Parque Mexico and this beautiful dog park, and then all these beautiful apartments, restaurants, bars. It's just this like little beautiful ecosystem that you never have to leave. Like I think when I lived here, I don't think I left this little bubble for like 3 months. I just lived inside La Condesa. It was amazing. But here, check this out. Man, I'm not sure if you can hear me. That waterfall is really loud. But I used to live like just a couple blocks that way, and I used to come over here to this awesome restaurant called Ojo de Agua to have breakfast. They have really good breakfast. It's still expensive, but they have really good food. But yeah, this is probably my favorite place, man. I love it here. The park's green. Everybody's out walking their dogs. People just going about their lives all over the place. It's just like a happy place in the city. And yeah, so I'm on this walkway that goes around the entire park, and it's a beautiful scenic walk. Remember, I used to wake up every morning and do this walk, and now that I'm in the city again, we're gonna be here for a couple days. I get to do the walk again, and I'm really excited about it. But yeah, check this out. Colchones, tambores, refrigeradores, estufas. I don't know the rest. Algo de cierro viejo que vendas. If you live in Mexico City, you get used to that. They drive by like 100 times a day. They're basically they're a bunch of people driving around in a truck, broadcasting that loud message saying that they'll buy any of your old used furniture, appliances, whatever. And then there's the tamales guy who spams tamales. But it's part of living in Mexico City. That lady's voice, and everybody who does that, where they try to collect your used stuff, they all use the same woman's recording. It's pretty funny. But yeah, so I'm coming up to the corner of Amsterdam and Iztaccíhuatl. And I love it because when people say like, hey, where do you live? And they're not Spanish speakers, it's like, oh, I live on Iztaccíhuatl. And they just look at you like, Itza what? What'd you say? But yeah, so my street name was Iztaccíhuatl, at the intersection of Iztaccíhuatl and Amsterdam. And I live in an apartment here. And oh man, it was probably like the nicest place I've lived. I loved living here. Yeah, check this out. Yeah, so I used to live on the second floor up there. I had an apartment. It was like 4,000 pesos a month, which is like, at the time it was like maybe like $180, $190 a month, and I had 3 roommates. But the apartment here was really nice, and you can see here there's the entrance, and then right next to it there was this little bar called Diente de Oro. And so I would just walk downstairs. I had a bar, there's restaurants, there's coffee shops, there's an OXXO right there, everything. There's even like a laundromat like less than a block away. And so when I lived here, like, I never had to leave. I had everything right here within walking distance. It's probably some of the most fun times that I've had as an adult. God, I can't describe how much I miss living downtown Condesa. Like, I don't want to live here anymore. I don't think I could handle living in the city again, but just walking down these streets just brings back so many good memories. Oh man. Yeah, take a look at this. But yeah, so get a look at this. That building that I lived in, it's right here to my left. Let me cross the street and I'll show you what I'm talking about. But the building's crooked. It's at like a specific angle. When I lived there, the owner was telling me that the building hasn't been condemned. It's still within legal whatever your parameters. But check this out. This building is like sinking. But yeah, if you take a look at this building here, you can see that like it's off-centered. It's tilted slightly a few degrees to the left. And I'll be honest, but yeah, it always used to kind of sketch me out when I lived in this building, because like Mexico City's got those earthquakes, and right before I moved here was when that bad earthquake hit. Maybe like a year before I moved here, that really bad earthquake hit that took down a lot of buildings. And so I moved to the city. It's something that never even crossed my mind, but I'm living in this place right here, and the only thing I can think about is like, is this building gonna fucking go down during an earthquake? There's a bunch of alarms all over the place. They're called alertas sísmicas, and every time that alarm would go off, everybody in the building would be fucking running for their lives onto the street here, and they'd all crowd onto the street waiting for the alarm to end, because this building's crooked, it's slanted, and it's old, and it's like, holy shit, is this motherfucker gonna go down? But yeah, so it was an interesting aspect of something I never even thought about, like just like worrying about an earthquake or a building collapsing. You know, like this is something you don't really think about unless you live in an old building. And yeah, but I always thought it was, I look back on it now and it makes me laugh, and it's like, that's pretty funny. But at the time, I'll be honest, I lost sleep several times. I remember I used to go to sleep at night and it's like, am I gonna wake up dead? Am I gonna wake up a pancake? It's a legitimate phobia I guess I developed while living in that building. It survived all the earthquakes. Who knows? You know, maybe it'll last forever, but you know, a lot of buildings did go down during that last earthquake, so it was a legitimate worry in the back of your mind. But yeah, good times. But yeah, when I moved here originally, I had just gotten a remote job. It was like one of my first remote jobs as a software developer, and I was living there pretty much out of a backpack. I had this backpack, I had a laptop, and I was writing software for a company in Austin, Texas, living in Mexico. It was a wonderful time. if you have the ability to work remotely and you can travel outside of the country with your job, I definitely suggest you check out Mexico City. There's a lot of Americans here, a lot of people speak English, and this whole area is safe. It's nice. There's police driving by constantly. Just people going about their lives. Nobody's afraid here. Nobody's scared. They're all just living. It's great. But yeah, I definitely would suggest checking this place out. There's just restaurants everywhere. There's people, coffee shops. I mean, whatever your unique like is, your gusto, you'll find it here. This is one of the biggest cities in the world, if not the biggest. I don't know what the statistic is anymore. But yeah, so when I was working here, I lived like a block back that way, and there was a co-working space just up ahead. And so I was working out of the co-working space, and living back there is awesome. Every time I'd go to work, I'd post up in like the general area and start working, and then I'd always meet Americans. I'd meet other people that were doing similar types of work, and so it was like really easy for me to make friends and, you know, just meet new people at work. Like, not even going out trying to meet people, just going to a place to work and focus and meeting like-minded people. It was pretty cool. One of the most fun parts about walking down this Amsterdam road are all the dogs. Everybody comes walking their dogs here, and you just meet all these cool, unique kinds of dogs, and they're always happy. They're out, their tongues out, just big smiles on their face. It's probably like one of my favorite parts about walking this. I've got so many favorite parts. They're all my favorite parts, but I love dogs. And seeing a dog out for a walk, happy as can be, tongue out, especially the pit bulls. The pit bulls look so awesome. So now I'm at the intersection of Amsterdam and Teotihuacan, and let's head into the park. So that would be Amsterdam right behind me that goes in a circle around the park, and over here right behind me is the main park. Let's go check it out. This park is so beautiful. It's all green, tons of people. Every day there's tons of people. It's Saturday, so there's more people, but it's always packed full of people. And then around the inner circle of the restaurants is just restaurant after restaurant after restaurant, bar, bar, bar. It's just a beautiful place to come hang out. Take a look at this. Look at all these doggies. Yeah, look at all these cool dogs. Everybody's just out walking their dogs. It's awesome. I love seeing all these little dudes running around. Looks like we got a little salsa lessons going on over here. And yeah, I don't know what the name of this part of the park is, but there's this big white flat, like blacktop. I don't know if it's called blacktop, but like a cemented area. There's always people here playing soccer, kids playing, skateboarding, dogs. It's a good time. Get my salsa dancing on. And now we're coming up to my favorite part of the park. My favorite part of the park. The dog park. They have an awesome dog park here with tons of dogs running around. Let's go check it out. But yeah, ever since my dog died, every time I get sad I come here and just play with random people's dogs. Like these guys. Look at this doggy. Oh, it's going away. Right, there's so many dogs here. They're awesome. Yeah, I love this place. What's up, buddy? What are you doing? What's up, doggies? Look at this guy. He's hanging out. Look at the dog go out. Yeah, this is probably the happiest place in Mexico City for me. I love all these dogs. It always makes me happy coming in here. Here's some dog treats that time. I've made some friends. Look at these guys. What's up, guys? How you doing? Look at this guy. Oh, there's so many dogs here. It's so awesome. They're all so happy. This is cool. I got a subscriber. There's a dude walking dogs, and we started talking, and he went onto my channel and subscribed. That's my first YouTube subscriber that I've met on the streets in person. That's awesome. Milestone reached. Yeah, that's sad. Dog park time is over. Continue on with the walk in the park. But yeah, so I can't really emphasize the walkability of here. I mean, I just moved back from Austin, Texas. I went up and I took a job in the United States in Austin, and I was living on South Interstate 35, like 15 minutes south of Austin. I had like a 20-minute drive to work. If I wanted to do anything, I had to drive there. But when you live here, you don't have to drive anywhere. Like, I lived right there, and I have a little gas station right there, like a little OXXO, like a little gas station store, like a 7-Eleven. And then there's like breakfast, lunch, and dinner all within 2 blocks of my place. It's a foreign concept unless you're part of the upper echelon in the United States and you live in a downtown Austin or a downtown part of your major city. You don't get to really experience and take advantage of the walkability of the city. But this place is so walkable. You can live here for 6 months and never get in a car once. It's outstanding. But it's a little thing coming from Austin, being here. I mean, I used to drive everywhere. It's like, oh, I'm gonna go to the gas station, it's a 10-minute drive. Oh, I'm gonna go to Chick-fil-A, it's a 10-minute drive. Anywhere. You're gonna go downtown, that's like an hour drive because you gotta deal with traffic. And the traffic can get really bad in Mexico City. And I would argue the traffic here is probably some of the worst in the world, but if you walk everywhere, the traffic doesn't affect you whatsoever. Actually, it makes it easier to cross the street. But yeah, I'm back at my Airbnb. It's just right across the street here. I hope you enjoyed walking through Mexico City with me. Amsterdam is truly a beautiful part of the city. And Parque Mexico is amazing. And the dogs are always awesome. If you ever come down here, definitely make sure you check out La Condesa, Parque Mexico, and take a stroll through Amsterdam. It's a really good time. Have a good one.